everyone. I am Nidra Bhatt, a content and project executive at Trip101. I'm happy to welcome you back to another episode of our Travel Talk series. In this series, we talk to different tour guides and experienced travelers from all across the world to help you plan your trip more successfully and efficiently. Today, we have a very special guest. Her name is Leila. She's a tour guide operating in Philippines, and she has 17 years of experience under her belt. We will be talking about Cebu with her. So I'm very excited to start this show for today. Hi, Leila. Welcome to our Travel Talk series.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, world. Welcome to the Philippines.
Great to be here. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got started?
I'm Leila, and I worked as an interpreter in the International Airport of Cebu before.
Wow.
I got my license or accreditation as a tour guide. So it's way back 18 years ago.
Wow, it's a long time.
So yeah, with different background from airline, I've been working with airline, media, and tourism with risk management, and I speak Japanese as well.
That's very exciting. So you have a lot of experience in tour and tourism industry.
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay. So today we'll be talking about Cebu. Can you tell me a little bit more about the location?
Cebu is located at the central part of the
Mm-hmm.
country. We call ourselves the heart of the Philippines.
Right.
We are an island famous for diving, snorkeling, and we are very proud of our cultural and historical importance. So come here, choose Philippines.
Of course. I'm sure after this travel talk series, a lot of people will know how amazing Cebu is for their next vacation. Now, before we get into the attractions and everything, let's talk about logistics. Can you tell me how far the city center is from the airport?
The airport in Cebu is located in Mactan, which is about 10 minutes to an hour to travel to the city center. We have three bridges to access from Mactan Airport to the city center.
And what's the easiest way to get to the city center from the airport?
The easiest and seamless travel experience from the airport is to pre-arrange your travel, book ahead a transportation so they could meet you outside the airport. If you arrange with them your flight details, so that's a seamless travel experience from the airport, right? But for commuting passengers, we do have rent-a-cars with drivers. We have taxis, buses, and jeepneys. So a lot of choices.
And what do you think is the most affordable way for tourists to travel?
The most affordable transport from the airport is by taking jeepneys. Jeepneys and these buses, they have their specific routes. So you have to transfer places. That could be fun. When you have your maps, you have Google Maps with you, it's the cheapest option.
Okay. Approximately how much would it cost?
The minimum fare is just 13 pesos.
Okay. Are there any travel passes or travel cards available that tourists can buy to decrease that amount?
No, that's already the cheapest. That's public transport. So there's no ticket or coupon to buy because you have to pay cash to the driver.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
But like I've said, they have their routes to follow. So you have to keep on changing jeepneys. So it's not the 13 pesos fare straight to the city.
Okay, that could be inconvenient if you have a lot of luggage.
Yes.
I think the next best option would be taxis. Are they
Yes.
easily available near the
Yes,
airport?
just outside. There's a queue for white taxi, yellow taxi, and for the airport taxis. There are several options.
Can you just tell me the difference? Because I don't know the white and yellow taxi difference.
Oh, okay. The white taxis, they're the regular fare. They are much cheaper than the yellow cabs. We call them the airport taxis.
And in Cebu, is there also like travel car ride apps that tourists can download, like Uber or something?
Yes, Grab is running.
Okay. So Grab is the best option then in that
Yeah,
case.
yes. But
Some
like I've
tourists.
said, for your seamless travel, you can also arrange private transportation with us.
Okay, that would be more convenient.
Yeah, that's really seamless travel.
So I also know that some tourists like to take the wheel on their own, rent a car, and then go out into the city. So is that facility available as well?
Yes. Oh, you mean you rent a car and drive it by yourself? Like
Yep.
a self-drive? Yes, it's
Yes.
also available.
Okay.
But that's a big risk.
Yeah, it is.
And
And does that need any international driving permit or anything like?
yes, of course, you need to present an international license, your
Mhm.
passport, and a deposit to protect the car, to protect their asset.
Okay, can you tell me if there are any attractions or good places to visit near the airport?
Very close to airport, just a
Mhm.
walking distance, there is a hotel casino called Waterfront Mactan Airport and Casino. The nearest sightseeing place from the airport takes about 20 minutes by car to visit the historical Magellan's Monument and our hero.
Okay.
And if you love music, we also have a guitar factory, which is nearby the airport. Not really close, but it's 20 minutes away by car. If you love playing guitars, if you want to purchase for yourself or to learn more about guitar making, about arts, then you can drop by our guitar factory.
Okay, so that's something tourists can keep in mind. Now we're in the city. Let's talk about attractions. Can you tell me some places that Cebu is very famous for?
Cebu is the oldest city in the Philippines. We are very proud of our cultural and historical importance. Historical places that you can visit in the downtown area, we have the Magellan's Cross. When Magellan came to the Philippines in 1521, he was befriended by Cebu's leader and planted a cross, a symbol of Christianity. There was baptism after that. Our Christianity, our faith was influenced by Spain. And we have also a few steps away from Magellan's Cross. We have one of the oldest church in the Philippines, which is the Basilica del Santo Niño. And the original, we save or we store inside the church or inside the basilica given to us by Magellan when he came to the Philippines in 1521. He gave that to the queen, and now save or we store that inside the basilica, and it really attracts a lot of churchgoers, a lot of tourists, different travelers, domestic and from abroad. It is one of our biggest festival, which happens every third Sunday of January. So we commemorate the honor of or the feast of the image, Señor Santo Niño. And we also have another spot that you can visit, the Fort San Pedro. It is the smallest and the oldest fort established by the Spaniards in 1560.
Wow, so a lot of historical attraction in the city.
Yeah, yes, the three attractions is just a walking distance. So you can walk and visit several nearby.
So since these are religious places, are there any particular dress codes that you have to consider?
Yes, because we
Okay.
are going to visit a church. It's a sacred place for us for praying. No sleeve or sleeveless, sexy shorts are not allowed. So you really have to wear casual or formal wear.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. It's good to know.
Yes. And if you are into dress, it must be below the knee. Yes. So that's some restrictions.
Moving on. So are there any particular places that both tourists and local love to visit in Cebu?
Oh, yes. We have sites. We called it the uphill. They are located in the hilltop or mountaintop. One of them is a local garden, which has both imported and local flowers.
Wow.
So the setting, it's on the mountainside. So the sites are really green and very natural and with the beauty of the flowers. So it's really an attraction with both locals and foreigners. And we also have the mountaintop overlooking the city. It's the highest top. It's about 1,000 feet elevation,
Wow.
700 meters
Mhm.
elevation. That's the tops. And it's a famous site for concerts, for events, it's a famous site for dating because there are also a lot of restaurants, coffee shop, a lot of establishments inside.
A
And
very
at
wholesome
night,
place.
yes, it's overlooking the city. So at night, when the lights are up
Mhm.
around 6:30, it becomes more popular.
Cebu is very famous for snorkeling and deep sea diving. Besides that, are there any other thrilling activities that can be done in the city?
Actually, the snorkeling, the diving, it's
Mm-hmm.
in Mactan area. Mactan Island is a coral island. So we have a lot of marine sanctuaries. So
Mm-hmm.
you can do snorkeling. And the other areas, which is famous for diving and snorkeling, is already in the south. So we have there, you can do swimming with the whale shark, swimming with the sardines and the turtles. Plus, we have the famous waterfalls, Kawasan Falls, that you can do swimming or you can do canyoneering.
Okay.
That's 3 hours away from the city.
Does it also have bungee jumping or something like that?
No, we don't have, but we have paragliding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can also enjoy marine sports like parasailing.
Mm-hmm. And paragliding, is it done in the city or near the Mactang area?
It's in the south part of the island, about
Okay.
3 hours away from the city.
Lots of options for those seeking some, adrenaline high activities. I know a lot of people love to visit Cebu with young kids. Would you recommend any particular activities that little kids would love to do in Cebu?
Cebu, we have here the Mactan Resort, which has
Mm-hmm.
both swimming pool and the beach area, which the kids would really enjoy fish feeding. We also have a safari park. It's about 2 hours away from the city, where you can see different wild animals like tiger, lion, giraffe,
Mm-hmm. That's great.
so that the kids would really enjoy. And we also have the ocean park. It's like a big aquarium that the children can see different marine life.
So lots of activities.
We really have a
Mhm.
lot of activities, and we also have an attraction which has giant slides.
Wow. Can
Yeah,
you
that
tell
the
me
kids would
where
really
that
love the
is?
pool. It's near the airport, about 20 minutes. It's just after the bridge. There's also one in the resort, at J Park Resort. They also have there in the pool giant slides, which the children can enjoy.
So any of these attractions you mentioned, do they require booking in advance?
Prepaid booking, or you have to book or reserve ahead, it's also better for seamless experience, but walk-in is also accepted.
And in case they want to book, they can just go to the online website of those hotels or resorts.
Yes,
Okay.
and of course they can also book it through us.
That would be the best option.
Yes,
Yeah, so we talked about attractions, but I also want to know if there are any hidden gems in the city that most tourists don't know about.
we have a lot of hidden gems in Cebu. We
Mm-hmm.
have several waterfalls, hot springs, we have rivers and different activities. We have mangroves that you can do boating. It just depends on a person's interest, but we
Right.
really do have a lot of hidden gems. You can book it with us. We can customize your travel
Mhm.
depending on your interest. So we could suggest the hidden gem which is suited for you.
Okay, that's great. If you had a senior citizen as your guest, then what would be the attractions you would recommend to them?
Okay, for our young at one, usually they do pilgrimage, visiting different churches.
Mm-hmm.
We really have a lot of pilgrimage centers or pilgrimage areas. They can also pray while walking, and
Mm-hmm.
our attractions and several sightseeing places would also attract our young at ones.
That's great. Let's talk about different neighborhoods in Cebu. Can you tell me which neighborhood would have the most attractions? Like if they can go to that neighborhood, it'd be sure that they'll have a lot to do.
Yeah, they can actually book in Mactan or within Cebu City or even farther south because Filipinos are really known for happy or hospitable people.
Yeah.
It really depends on their interest. So if they want to go on big shopping malls, enjoy gamble like casino, so it's a prefer to stay in the city if they want nightlife. But if they want a resort life experience, so they must book hotels or resorts in Mactan area, which is also nearby the airport. If they want an adventurous thrill, they can book hotels up north or south. Most travelers book hotels in the city center where they can enjoy nightlife. If they have free time, they can just enjoy shopping to different malls. And during the daytime, they book tours because our tours also has complimentary shuttles to the sightseeing place, different sightseeing
Okay,
places.
that makes sense. Among the neighborhoods you mentioned, which one would you say is the cheapest and most affordable to stay in?
It depends
Right.
because whether you stay in Mactan, the city, or the south, which is more provincial, because in the whole island, we do have different options for different markets. We do have roadside eateries or street food. We do have fine dining restaurants. We have fast food. So I cannot say which is the cheapest, but there are several options for each area. It's not limited because we are catering, we would like to accommodate different markets with low budget to those who can really afford fine dining, five-star hotels. So we cater them all.
Wide ranging options. Okay. Can you tell me which is your favorite place to stay in the city and why would that be?
For me, I'd rather stay in the city because I can enjoy nightlife. I can enjoy several street food, different restaurants. I can do shopping. I can go to the casino and I can enjoy the pool. I can enjoy the beach. It's very near.
Yeah, so that sounds very convenient. Can you recommend a few hotels or resorts that you can think of?
Like I've said, we are attracting different markets. So we do have five-star hotels like Shangri-La, Dusit, Sheraton, The Reef for the high-end market. Now, we also have different hotels which can cater the middle market. We have the Mactan New Town, which has several condominiums, which is they also have Airbnb places that you can book. There are also two hotels there, very convenient for travelers because it's a community. There's a supermarket, there's different commercial centers and restaurants, fast food, coffee shops. So there's Belmont Hotel and then Savoy Mactan. For the low budget, we also have pension houses. We have houses in the published in Airbnb. So we really have a lot of you really have a lot of different options depending on your budget. If we go to the city center for the middle market, we have the Bay Hotel, which is very near the mall. We have the Bayfront. For the high-end market, if you want to stay beside a biggest mall, you can book with the Radisson Blu. If you want the mountainside, we have the Marco Polo Plaza Cebu. If you want to play 24-hour casino, we have hotel with casino, the waterfront in Mactan, right beside the airport, in waterfront Cebu, which is in the city. The new hotel casino, which is the new star. So those who wants to play gamble, who loves signature brands, shopping, jewelries, you can find them all in the New Star Resort.
It's just a matter of taking your option and picking one.
Oh yes, yeah. There's no limit. So we cater everyone.
Yes.
So you don't need to worry. For the cheaper options, there are actually a lot of several option or places to stay. So it really depends on your budget.
Okay, so we talked a lot about accommodation. Now let's come to food. Cebu is, as you mentioned, it's the coast, lots of options in seafood there must be. So can you tell me about some of the local food that tourists can experience when in Cebu?
Yeah, in Cebu, we are famous for everything. We cater to different diets. We have a vegan restaurant, seafood, Japanese, Chinese, Italian,
Wow.
and street food. Cebu is really famous for the lechon, where you can find it on several Filipino restaurants,
Mhm.
or you can also find it in some food park.
Wow. Okay. Are there any food markets that tourists can visit besides the street food options?
We do have a food park located at Il Corso, SP, which is nearby New Star Resort and
Mhm.
the biggest mall, SMC side. And at the city center, they can also go to the Carbon Market, which has a huge food park that where
Yes.
they can enjoy street food.
I really that you mentioned that there are a lot of different diet options like vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free. Can you recommend a restaurant for each if you know of any?
Yeah, we have options for different diets. We have vegan restaurants inside the mall and at Il Corso Food Park.
Mhm.
So we accommodate the non-pork market, the non-pork eaters,
Yes,
or the halal restaurants. So
right.
we also have them.
That's wonderful. And you mentioned there are high-end restaurants. Any you can think of?
We have a lot of high-end restaurants. We have the New Star Resort Casino. Within
Mhm.
that facility, within that establishment, there are a steakhouse, there's a Chinese restaurant,
Mhm.
and several restaurants also, which inside Marco Polo, there's also a Chinese restaurant in a roof deck restaurant, the Blue
Mhm.
Bar. You can enjoy steaks, cocktails at night. So it's famous for dinner. And of course, if you want to try local food, Filipino
Yes.
dishes, you can book or reserve a table at different Filipino restaurants we have from Mactan or even in Cebu City Center.
Okay, that's amazing. Are these restaurants, some of them pet friendly as well?
Yeah,
Oh,
some of the
wow.
restaurants you can bring your pets.
Do you need to book a table when you go to these restaurants, or is walk-in also enough?
For the high-end restaurants, they prefer to book a table, but of
Mhm.
course they accept walk-in. They are very strict with the dress code. But
Oh, yes.
nonetheless, some local restaurants, you're free, even on
Okay.
sleepers, but not with high-end.
Right. What kind of dress code would be expected from these restaurants?
For the high-end restaurants, they don't accept sleepers and shorts.
Okay, so you have to be wearing really
Yeah,
casual,
formal,
formal.
formal, yeah,
Okay.
formal wear. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Lastly, also wanted to know that is tipping a norm in these restaurants or even in Cebu in general? Tipping your wait staff or even tour guides, is that a norm?
In the Philippines, tipping is optional.
All right. So if a tourist likes your service, then they
Yes, yes,
can.
it's
It's
optional.
appreciated.
Optional. Yes.
To know about water facility in the city. Would you say it's safe to drink tap water in the city?
We really advise for the foreigners to drink the bottled water.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
And if they wanted to get a bottle of water or maybe snacks or any essentials, are there any convenience stores we can visit that's open like
Yeah,
24?
we have a lot of 7-Eleven shops or
Okay.
convenience stores in the island or in the city.
Perfect. And these are open 24/7.
Yes, we have
Nice.
7-Eleven, which is open 24/7, and some other
Mhm.
convenience stores.
Okay, and one last question in our food section. Are there any food delivery apps that tourists can use in case they're
Yeah,
tired?
we do have Food Panda, we do have Grab Food, yeah, and several deliveries that they can book online.
That's great. So you mentioned about water that you recommend tourists not drink water from the tap, but in case they do and they might fall sick, how's the healthcare facilities for tourists like in Cebu?
Yeah, we have actually several big hospitals that
Mhm.
cater to foreign market. We also in Cebu, We cater medical tourism. So we have big
Oh, okay.
hospitals. Yeah.
And just in case if a tourist wants to buy any medicine, a simple flu medicine, can they just go to a pharmacy and get it, or do they need prescription?
Yeah, for the over-the-counter medicines,
Okay,
yes, they can purchase. But for, of course, they need prescription, especially antibiotics.
that's great. A lot of tourists these days, vacation has become very famous where tourists can work and vacation at the same time. So, how's the Wi-Fi facility and connectivity in general in Cebu?
We have good connection for internet in the city.
In public areas like restaurants and hotels, there's good Wi-Fi.
Some hotels and restaurants offer free Wi-Fi to their customers.
Okay, that's nice. But just in case if there's any Wi-Fi hiccup, do you think it's smart to buy a local SIM card?
Yes, they can buy a local SIM card outside the airport or even in the mall. We have some shops which they can buy SIM card if they have their mobile Wi-Fi.
Okay, that's great. So speaking of malls, can you tell me some shopping malls that tourists can go to buy high-end products?
We have different malls in the city. We do have the SM Mall, which
Mhm.
cater local brands and in the signature brands. And we have another mall for the high-end market. They have most of the signature brands. For the high-end market, they can go to the New Star Casino. They have there the Louis Vuitton and some other high-end brands.
That's great. And for those with lesser budget, are there any local shops they can go to buy souvenirs?
Yes, we have local stores which
Mhm.
sell local souvenir items.
And what is the best souvenir that people can buy in Cebu?
We have t-shirts, we have the key holders, it's very
Mhm.
famous, chains. So some are the simple souvenirs they can bring back home. We are famous for mangoes.
Oh,
So they
wow.
can also buy dried mangoes in the
Mhm.
supermarkets.
That's unique. Otherwise, you usually have the I Heart Cebu t-shirt everywhere, but the mango part is very interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard that people also bargain for prices there, like negotiate. Is that something normal in Cebu?
Yes, for stores outside the malls, they can
Okay.
haggle for prices. But for malls, it's already fixed price.
So, do you have any tips when it comes to haggling for prices?
In asking for discounts, they must go 50% so that they could get the best rate.
That's very useful advice. When shopping in Cebu, would you recommend using a credit card or cash for local transactions?
Okay, in Cebu or in the whole Philippines, we accept credit cards or cash
Okay, perfect. So, in
because some
case,
don't like to bring cash.
Mhm.
They can pay credit cards to hotels, to restaurants. But for small shops, they accept only cash.
That's great. Where do you think is the best exchange rate in the city that tourists can find?
For the money changers, we have a lot of shops. But for tourists, safety, it's
Mhm.
better to exchange inside the mall.
All right, that's great
Yes.
to know. Okay, let's talk about the best time to visit Cebu. Are there any particular seasons that tourists should plan their vacation in Cebu during?
Really recommend December to May. But all year, we have the sun the whole year. For June, October, and November, there are some typhoons. That's a typhoon month.
Okay, so it's
Mm.
best to avoid.
Yes.
And how long do you think is fair to plan a trip in Cebu for?
Oh, a week. So
Okay,
that you can really have a lot of time to enjoy.
that's wonderful. A week in Cebu sounds lovely. And are there any particular, you mentioned earlier that there is a holiday during a feast that a lot of tourists like to visit during. So are there any other such events or holidays in Cebu that tourists should plan their vacation around?
Some of the establishments are open on holidays, but there are events, especially Philippines is 85% Catholic. So most of the sightseeing places, most of the malls are closed on Good Friday, Holy Week. But the critical day is Good Friday. which most of the activities and even malls are closed.
That's good information, good to know. But also, are there any concerts that Cebu is known for that tourists can enjoy?
Yes, I mentioned earlier the mountaintop viewing deck. It usually holds different concerts. So Barry David Pomeranz was here and a lot of famous artists, famous singers.
I know K-pop is also very famous thing. A lot of concerts and tours, K-pop artists. Are there any particular season or months when these festivals or these concerts usually happen?
There were big events,
Mhm.
especially on the festival month, January. By the month of January, we have the biggest festival in Cebu. We expect also more events, more concerts.
Okay, so January is a great time for music lovers to be in Cebu.
Oh yeah, and then the weather is also good.
That's
But you
wonderful.
really have to reserve because by January we have full capacity for hotels.
So if they want to book a tour with you, they should start doing that from December onwards.
Ah yes, they have to book ahead. So we can
Okay.
still get a slot in the hotels in some events.
That's great. Let's talk about some general information. Are there any tips or anything that you'd like first timers to know when they come to Cebu?
I have the very first caution that I would like to know everyone, I would like to inform everyone is that even we are a Catholic country, life is hard. We still have a lot of people in the city, even inside the mall, even inside the church. So you have to be very careful with your valuables.
So that's a great safety tip.
We do have swindlers in the cities. They have to be careful in some transactions or talking to locals.
Okay. Is Cebu safe for solo travelers or female travelers?
Yes, Cebu is safer for solo travelers. We do accommodate because we do have, they can also join group tours.
Okay, that would be great. When coming to the country, are there any particular items or medicines that tourists should not bring into the city?
Illegal drugs, that's really prohibited.
Okay.
They can bring their personal medicines. Of course, they can bring.
Okay, that's great. That was my next question, but you already answered. That's amazing. And I also wanted to know that for some of the attractions and even transportation options, should they start booking it in advance, a few months before, in case they fill up quickly?
Yes, some of the transportations, it's better to book ahead. But if they are undecided yet, there are actually several options. We have taxis everywhere. We have the Grab app.
That's good to know.
But if they want convenience, to save time, seamless travel experience, it's better that they booked ahead and book professionals like us.
Yeah, that's amazing. And also with tour guides, you will be able to give them more insight into a lot of different places and cultural aspects. A tour guide like you should be their preferred option.
Yeah, it should be on the number one list.
Okay. Are there any essential items that tourists should pack when they come to Cebu, for example, a good pair of shoes or something like that?
Oh, if they wanted to enjoy the water, they must bring water shoes. If they want to bring their own snorkeling gears, they can also bring. Nonetheless, it's already provided in the tours.
Oh,
The snorkeling mask. If you want to have your personal things, then you can bring it with you.
okay, that's good to know. I think we've come towards the end of our Cebu talk today, and we've extensively traveled the city through your perspective. But is there anything we left out that you want tourists to know about?
I think we already covered the important points that a traveler must have. We talk about different accommodations, different hotels, different transportation options, different food, different restaurants, and the cautions for all the travelers. So I think we cover everything. Choose Philippines in your travel.
Yeah.
And choose Leila for your seamless travel experience.
So if I'm booking a trip to Cebu, you'll be the first tour guide I contact.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
leave my vacation to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, I just have one question. Is there any emergency number or hotline that tourists can contact in case of emergencies?
In case of emergencies, people are so friendly, so they can just go to the nearest front desk.
Okay.
They could ask help.
Okay, so today we spent our morning and afternoon in Cebu with Leila, and we talked a lot about Cebu City. I'm sure that by now Cebu has become one of the most amazing destination for our travelers, where they can conveniently and effortlessly travel to the city and see everything it has to offer. Thank you so much for joining us today and giving us your insight and expert tips. I'm sure it will help a lot of travelers and will choose you in their Cebu tour.
Thank you. Looking forward to more business with you. Bye.
Bye.
Choose Philippines. Choose Leila. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back with another Travel Talk series.